What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Drive Time with Rebecca. I am sitting in a ton of traffic right now. I'm headed to a doctor. Nothing's wrong. It's just my normal annual doctor visit. And I don't know why. I actually look forward to going to the doctor because I feel like I try to be proactive with my health. And so while I don't do everything right, I'm trying to do more things right. Anyway, today's drive time is, just a chit chat reseller topic that I've had a couple questions on, and I kind of touched on it in an earlier drive time with Rebecca when I did, and I think it was the first one, like ask, if you don't ask, you don't get. And this is kind of like a spin-off related topic to that. And it's about being professional and knowing how to ask and how to handle certain situations. I mean, for the most part, what's very attractive to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people about reselling, is that you actually don't have to deal with a lot of people if you don't want to. And, I come from a sales background. I am a people person, so I can, and I do enjoy it sometimes. But then sometimes it's like, I just want to sit in my house, take pictures of items, ship them out to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know about it. Like, I don't need the backstory. I just want to put my head down and do my work, people free, sometimes. And so if you're someone that is not a people person, if you're someone that maybe had a different kind of job where you're not in an office setting or not dealing with clients or not dealing with customers, you're not like a forward-facing employee, because some jobs you don't need to deal with the clients. Some jobs you don't need to deal with the customers. Sometimes you don't need to have a customer service element to your work. And it's not that you don't have to be professional, because of course, I would hope you're working out there in the world, you want to be professional. But I mean more about the way you deal with people, the people skills, being courteous, being professional, the customer service element, things like that. And we all deal with questions from buyers, and I'll admit sometimes I am not professional. Sometimes I am a little sassy when answering comments, because I do get annoyed by stupid questions. And that's not necessarily the topic of this video. Today's topic is more along the lines of, I don't really know even how to put it, more along the lines of having confidence, I guess, to ask, confidence to ask, confidence to deal with people in a situation that could help you, and more in the sourcing realm. And I guess you've heard different channels talk about making a relationship with the Goodwill retail store manager, pumping people for information, trying to figure out when you can get the good stuff, making friends with the employees, bring them donut, all these things you could do to kind of bribe your way into better standing, with a store. That's not the topic of this video either. What I'm mostly have gotten questions about are those weird sourcing things that I've done, like asking my dry cleaner what they do with the abandoned clothing, or dealing with the airport lost luggage and offshoots from that. Things like that, to where, and also the local closet clear out service. I feel like I've gotten some vibes from people, whether it's on Instagram or DMs or comments in the YouTube, they're scared to ask for things. They don't know how to ask for things. They're afraid they're going to offend someone, things like that. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, was just I have no problem with any of that. I'm not scared of any of it. I have no problem with it. I'm happy to talk with anyone. And so I'm putting this out there as kind of a way to start the conversation, because I do think that it's a longer video. But I don't know where to start, because it's not a problem for me. So I'm putting it out there to say, if you are someone who is maybe more shy, or doesn't feel as confident to ask, call the airport and ask what do they do with their lost luggage, or call a dry cleaners, or stop in a dry cleaners in person and say, what do you do with your abandoned clothing, or to do a local closet clear out service in your area and you feel weird about saying to someone, I only want to pay you $1 for this item, or no, I didn't like any of your stuff, I don't want to buy any of it. Those are the questions that I've been getting in, and so I want to know more about that, and I want to be able to help with that. Maybe it's coming up with lines, maybe it's like a script that someone could potentially practice, or just go through talking points so that you feel more familiar with language, and a comfort level of knowing that it's okay to say those things and it's okay to ask. And as long as you are upfront, nice, professional, that you can do it and you can get amazing items in a very easy way if you just put yourself out there. And like I say, for me, that's not an issue. I don't have a problem with it. And so it never occurred to me that that would be a problem. But because of the questions and the comments and the people, and it's not even so, the people haven't really asked questions. They've more said like, oh, I'd be too scared to do that, or oh, I would never tell somebody that. And so I feel like there's a sub-segment of people that watch that could benefit from it and don't know how to go about it. So leave me a comment below and let me know if you're one of those people, what kind of specific questions you might have. Would a script be helpful? Like, can we go over talking points, actual scripted out language? Is it more of just working on getting your confidence going? Is it just not knowing what the process is, and so the whole thing just sounds really kind of like icky? Tell me in the comments below and let me know. So just to start it off, like, let's start with the dry cleaner. That dry cleaner is the dry cleaner that I frequent. And so we already have a relationship and I am already her customer. And I think that that is the best place to start. If you don't use a dry cleaner, then you can't start that way. But if you take your husband's clothes or you take your clothes or whatever, and you have a dry cleaner that you use regularly, that's where you need to start. Because once you get one, then you could potentially parlay that into your talk with other dry cleaners to say, well, I'm already doing this with, so-and-so dry cleaner. And this is how we work it. And you can kind of use that as a template example. Plus, you have more of an in with the dry cleaner already because that's your dry cleaner and you are their customer. And so it's not that they want to please you, by giving you all their clothes for free, but at least you have some kind of starting point and you are in more of a position of power because you are the client, you are the customer frequenting their business. So, just starting that conversation is very simple to say, hey, actually for work or part-time to make extra money for my family, I'm a reseller. And basically that means that I try to find items in a thrift store or from friends and family or any way that I can, and I list them on places like Poshmark and eBay as a way to make extra money. And it's awesome and it's fun. And I thought of this, someone I know has recently worked with their dry cleaner to help them out with all of the abandoned clothing that they have. And it made me think, why don't I ask you, what do you do with your abandoned clothing? Like, if someone doesn't pick up their item, do you keep it for 3 months or a year and then you donate it? Do you keep it for 3 months and a year and throw it away? Can I offer you a small fee and take it all off your hands as a service? And then I'd be happy to let you know that I will donate all of the clothing that I don't take. I'd be happy to offer you the donation receipt so that you have that. I'm just really looking to expand my footprint in the community, and I'd love to work with you as a partner on helping you out with your abandoned items, and it would help me too. And you play it like a win-win, and you can practice what you're going to say. And I think it almost feels scuzzy or icky, but it's really not. I mean, when I said it to her, and it was just an off-the-cuff thing, I didn't even say all of that like a formal pitch. She was like, yes, I don't know what to do with it. I have so much of it. Oh my God, somebody told me I shouldn't donate it to Goodwill because they're not a good, like, she went into this whole thing. And it was like I was helping her, and that's why she was so happy to give it to me for free. And, I offered her money and she wouldn't take it. And so I had all this free stuff, and then finally I'm like, I will buy you cups of coffee. Like, I don't care if I come in here with 10 cups of coffee over the next 7 weeks. Like, I need to give you something for this, because that's crazy. You just gave me all this stuff. So, you know, I think it's really worth it. I mean, you may get shot down by your dry cleaners. You may get shot down by 10 dry cleaners. But then when you find one, you could keep going in there every 3 months or every 6 months or once a year and get piles and piles of nice clothes that have been dry cleaned. Like, it is worth it to try to make some kind of effort like that. I really do believe it. And all it takes is just a little forethought and a little planning, and then like basically little balls. And I've got plenty of those. So yeah. So that's the dry cleaning thing. The next thing I would touch on is like the airport lost luggage one, because I get a lot of questions about that. And I feel like, you know, I watch a lot of Gary Vee, and he's always like, put it out there for free, but guess what? You guys don't do anything about it. And I feel like there's a little bit of that when people ask me questions, and then you tell them, well, you need to call your airport and you need to find out what do they do with their lost luggage. Okay, you need to, you know, go look up auction houses in your area. Like, when you tell them not the exact answer, but how to go and research it, because I don't know what it is in your area. I'm not going to go look it up on Google. Like, you do that. Like, I already did my homework, and now I have the relationship and I have the thing. That's what you have to do. So I feel like there's a little bit of like, even though I tell people exactly what to do to how to find it for themselves, they don't do it. I think there's a lot of people that don't do it, and that's okay, because that's okay. You know, I mean, if you don't want to put in the work, you don't get the thing. I mean, it's very simple. So I would say with something like that, I mean, that's one of those calls where, yes, you could get rejected. You could get no one to call you back. You could get someone that would yell at you. I mean, you could potentially be putting yourself in a situation that is uncomfortable. And I think that's what I don't mind, but there are lots of people that would very much shy away from something like that. And I just want to say, like, no pain, no gain. You don't try, you don't get. If you don't ask, you don't get. And what's the worst that can happen? And if you try one little thing like that, you could use that to snowball into doing other things that are good for you personally and good for your business. Just went over like a major pothole. And it's just a good thing in general. And, you know, I'm not here to be like, you know, self-help lady or anything like that. But I just, it's so natural for me to do that. And I was kind of really intrigued by the couple comments that I get that lead me to believe that there are a lot of people that it does not come easy to. It is kind of freaky for them. And like, I'd love to be able to encourage you to just try, because there's literally nothing bad that can, literally nothing bad can happen from it. Nothing bad can happen. It can only be a good thing. It can only be a step up. And so that's the airport lost luggage one. Like, basically calling your airport and finding out what they do with their lost luggage. I mean, and that would require you to call, and you'd probably be on hold. You'd probably get transferred around a couple times until someone on the other end understood what you were trying to ask, because my gut tells me that if you called and said all of that, like, I'm trying to find out what you do with your lost luggage, I'm interested in purchasing it, or whatever, like, you know, paid by the hour people are not gonna put in all of their brain power to try to figure out what the heck you're talking about. So there might be a little runaround, and that's fine. I mean, when your kid's napping one day, when your kid's at school one day, say, this is the day, I'm gonna focus on this. I don't care if I get anything else done. I'm gonna find out what's going on with the airport lost luggage. That's gonna be my mission. I mean, those projects like that, dry cleaners, airport lost luggage, you know, whatever, those are projects, and it's, you're not going to see an immediate benefit. You're just not. Like, it's investment in your future to start making those calls. Wait till you get the yes, like things like that. You have to just put in that front-loaded effort and know that if you kept doing it, you would end up in a better place, perhaps. or nothing good will come from it, but whatever. It didn't cost you anything but a little bit of your time. And yes, we're reselling moms and we are very low on time, and I totally get that. And I don't think you should waste your time, but I do think that there is some value in trying an initial round of calls. Or like I say, start with your dry cleaner, start with your local airport. And if you don't live by an airport, don't let that deter you, because I live by the airport and my airport gives the stuff or has a contract with the auction house, and the auction house is 50 minutes away from me. So even though I live 10 minutes from the airport, I have to drive 50 minutes to the auction house to go get the stuff. So if you don't live by an airport, that doesn't mean that you can't get it. They might do an online auction. They might have no whatever, they just throw it out and now they can make a relationship. Like, you have no idea, and you don't know until you try. So this was a little rambly. I was wanting to really keep these drive times to about 10 minutes. That really is my goal. So I apologize that this one went a little bit longer, but like I said, I've been getting the sense from these comments that there's just some uncertainty, or, you know, not enough confidence out there, or just a lack of knowing how to make these professional outreach calls or whatever to build your business. And I think if you treat yourself as a business and you are sourcing, you are identifying ways in your local community that you can obtain more inventory to sell online for people and give them affordable pricing on items, and the arbitrage is that you need to get them cheaper, and you're looking to purchase them in bulk, and you're looking to also provide a service to the airport to take away their stuff, or the dry cleaner to take away their stuff, or whatever, that it is a win-win. And if you present it in a matter-of-fact, professional manner and explain yourself, all you can get is a no, and a no is not the worst thing that can happen. Like, cancer is like the worst thing that can happen, or like you die. Like, that is the worst thing that can happen. Getting a no on the phone, or getting someone hanging up on you, or even someone telling you no to your face is not the worst thing that can happen. It's not. And in life and in business, and again, I'm not this major expert or anything, it just happened to be something that doesn't bother me. And so I can say it's not the worst thing to get rejected, and it passes, and it might actually be good for you because it makes you uncomfortable and then you grow. And I love doing that. I love doing that with this channel. I love doing that with my reselling business. I like making myself uncomfortable and using it as an opportunity to grow. And I've done that over and over again. And that's part of the journey, and that's part of what's awesome. And I could only just hope that I would encourage you and motivate you and inspire you, perhaps, to try it in a very small way and see what happens, because I think there's just upside. So that's my final thought. Thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. Sorry this one was a little longer. I wish everyone all the best. I'll see you the next time. Bye.